What is good, everybody? Welcome back to Infamously Speaking. I'm Matt Rosa here to talk about Game 4 of the NBA Finals. OKC tying up the series with a huge road win in Indiana. Thunder up. SGA balled out. J-Dub showed up. Chet played big. Alex Caruso, massive offseason signing, paying off. But before we jump into all that, if you're not subscribed already to the Infamously Speaking YouTube channel, please do us a favor and click that subscribe button and click the bell to get notified for whenever we drop new content. You want to stay in the loop. Trust me. Hot content, great takes, insightful commentary. Don't miss out on it. Second, share the show. Friends, family, whoever you think would like this kind of sports talk. Encourage them to get involved in the conversation as well. Our conversations, if you're not following us on TikTok and YouTube, subscribe to us on YouTube, do it. Links are in the bio. Highly encourage it. The commentary, especially on TikTok, has been incredible. That community is awesome. Thank you all so much for continuing to bring the energy between game to game. Love it. Lastly, before we jump into the recap, Infamously Speaking merch is live. You can find that link in the bio as well. I'm wearing the black Infamously Speaking embroidered t-shirt and also the Infamously Speaking snapback hat with the OG logo right there. Cool. With that being said, let's jump into Game 4. What did we see again? This is not about the box score. You can go and check the box score wherever you like to go and get that. This is what did we see and what we saw again. And I'm going to sound like a broken record. And you're like, man, we're tired of hearing this guy say it, but it's true. The moments. We live for the moments. The playoffs are about the moments, the pressure cooker. Who's going to step up and who's going to crumble? And we've seen it go both ways in this series. Indiana in Game 1 stepping up with a big Tyrese shot. And tonight, what did we see? OKC down. They come back and win the fourth quarter by 14 points, led by SGA, absolutely clutching up, and massive buckets by J-Dub. Clutch offensive rebounds by Chet, who looks like he was playing on one leg. That's what it's all about. Now, let me touch on that fourth quarter real quick, because that was really the turning point. All the other quarters were pretty close. You could look at the box score if you want to see that. That fourth quarter, and this was the Pacers' kind of crutch in this game, was their inability to defend down the stretch without fouling. And everybody's going to be like, oh, OKC, foul merchants. I believe OKC only shot like 4 or 5 more free throws. And remember, Indiana was fouling at the end. And also, Benedict Mathurin had 2 away from the play fouls that gave them an extra free throw and the ball. So take that stuff away, and they pretty much shot even. The biggest difference was that Oklahoma City, was making them. Mathurin had a couple. I think he missed 3 in a row. But also, they were able to score with the clock stopped and also catch their breath. We know the Pacers want to play with pace. 104, if you're Indiana, more likely than not, is not going to result in a W, especially because you were on pace. After the first half, you had 60. You're on pace to score 120. You score 16 less than that. That's not how you want to play the game. You want to be fast. You want to be out in space. You don't want to face OKC half-court defense. Even though they've had some success, that's not the kind of game that you want to play, right? Especially when you're in the playoffs and it kind of seems like OKC is kind of scrambling to find the right lineup sometimes. You want to be able to play with pace to make Mark Daigneault have to give his guys a break. I thought Daigneault's staggering and use of intermissions and little breaks was fantastic to get Shai some rest. Also some rest earlier in the game, a little bit more than usual to make sure that he was fresher for the fourth. And that showed up. That shot that he made where he kind of pushed off a Nesmith a little bit and then lost his balance a little bit, was able to keep his footing under him and hit the huge midi. SGA showed us why he's the MVP. Clutch shot making, not afraid of the moment, hit a big 3, hit that midi I was talking about, hit all of his free throws, 10 for 10 at the stripe, and again, just controlled the flow of the game. SGA said it in his post-game interview, whoever is able to impose their will is who's going to win this series. When Indiana plays fast and OKC can't slow them down, Indiana wins. When OKC can slow them down, playing a half-court game, play in space and play fast when they want to on their own terms, OKC is impossible to beat. OKC showed you why they were a 68-win team right there. I know a lot of people were like, oh, Indiana. Listen, and I'm not getting on them. Indiana looked fantastic. OKC had no answers for Indiana in game 3. But this is why, again, to quote Shai again, he said, every game is a reset. 0-0 after every game. He said that after the game 1 loss. Well, every time they've lost, they've reset and came back and responded the way that they needed to respond. So setting us up for an incredible, pivotal game 5. I feel like we say pivotal about every single game in these finals. But this one truly is. Home court back in OKC's favor. OKC a much better home team in these playoffs. It's going to be interesting to see who comes out ahead. I think it's going to be OKC, to be completely honest with you. They have the momentum. They know they could play with the Pacers. That was never a problem. They have the swagger back. Now, the big thing is going to be Chet's health. So if Chet doesn't play or he's minimized at any capability or any capacity, then that might look a little different because he played huge today. Huge. I mentioned those 2 big offensive rebounds in the 4th quarter to get easy putback dunks off of misses. But 15 rebounds across the game with 14 points, plus 14 when he was on the court, the best out of any OKC starter. I want to talk about the bench play in this series. It's been incredible, honestly. Fantastic. I know a lot of people were like, OKC in an Indy Finals, who wants to see that? We're seeing the best version of basketball that we could possibly see in these finals. We're seeing 8, 9, 10-man rotations where everybody is viable. And it's so crazy how things can change from game to game. Benedict Mathurin was unstoppable in game 3. Today, only 8 points. Missed 3 key free throws. Obi Toppin was awesome again off the bench. Alex Caruso was incredible. No 20-point games in the entire regular season. Has 2 in this final series alone. Stepping up and, again, living in the moment. The playoffs are about moments. It's a very much of a, what did you do for me? What have you done for me lately? It doesn't matter what you did yesterday. What have you done for me lately? Because the only game that matters is the one that's right here. So let's look quickly ahead to game 5. What do we expect to see? What does OKC need to do to go up 3-2? They got to clean up that 3-point shooting. They had some good looks. Only made 3 and were still able to win. I believe they lost the battle by 24 at the 3-point line. And was still able to pull it off. So, got to hit those threes. Got to continue to crash the offensive glass when you can. And when I say that is, the Knicks got caught up against Indiana trying to crash the glass or not getting back. And what that does is that allows Indiana to get out in space. Also, I would assume SGA is going to look to get his teammates more involved. Earlier in the game, he had 0 assists. That's not normal for SGA. So look for him to help get his teammates some easy looks early, especially since role players play better at home. Those threes that they were missing that were good looks, expect them to go in at home. Indiana, what do you need to do to make sure you don't go down 3-2, that you go up 3-2? Well, first and foremost, can't get out rebounded, cannot get out rebounded. You got to put bodies on people. Though, like I said, those 2 Chet putbacks were huge. Secondly, you got to defend without fouling. I understand that this game might have been a little bit different. The whistle was a little weird at times in this game, but you can't let them get to the free throw line and shoot almost 40 free throws. Can't happen. Also, you got to play your game all 4 quarters. 104 is not going to crack it. You got to crack at least 110, 115, I believe, to beat OKC. So continue to play fast. You got to continue to play fast. And a lot of that had to do with the OKC defense, but this series is going to be about moving forward to best of 3 for 3 more games. Who can impose their will more? And that's your opinion. Because we've seen both teams do it. That's why it's tied up. So let me know who you got in game 5. I'm rolling with OKC. Let me know in the comments below. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Again, a reminder, if you're not already subscribed and you're here, first and foremost, thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you for listening and kicking with us. Second, hit that subscribe button. Hit the notification bell so you get notified whenever Infamously Speaking content comes out, whether it's these sports reaction videos or our long-form podcast where we have great discussions like growth and development, lessons that sports teach us that we carry throughout life, and much, much more. Appreciate y'all. As always, think critically, speak infamously. Love.